We're back to Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. In fact, it's the second to last issue. I don't know how everything's going to wrap together because I feel like there's a lot still left unfinished, unless maybe they will explore in the new comic book series that are coming up. I know at least one plot line involving Green Arrow definitely will be explained in that Green Arrow series because the synopsis said it will. But everything else, I feel like there's a lot to go still, and I don't understand how they're all going to fit that into one issue. Anyways, we start with the Lanterns in Sector 666, still waiting for Hal, Kyle, and Joe, when they get a call from Mr. Turek saying that something is coming. And just when he says that the swarm of the darkness floods out attacking the Lanterns. We then get panels of Pariah narrating over the darkness, how it's lonely, and we cut back to the fight still going on in the Hall of Justice. While it's just a quick couple panels, we do see Raven vs. Spectre, which I'm very interested in, and I wish we got to see more of that, because I really want to see that fight. We also see Pariah is on the field now talking with Deathstroke over how Deathstroke wants to be free of all the heroes and the darkness itself. But Beast Boy comes in wanting payback, starting a battle between the two. And it seems like Beast Boy might actually be willing to kill him. Back with the League, who are trapped worlds away from their home, Barry and Hal break the news that the only way back home is for Barry to vibrate them through the light of Hal's ring, which might result in some of them ending up being lost in the multiverse, which sounds very scary. Green Arrow, however, is willing, as he says that's what heroes do. They take the chance. Like when he shoots an arrow, there's always a chance he'll miss. Black Canary and Green Arrow say their goodbyes, as they're prepared for the worst, really believing that perhaps if they do leave, or go missing, that maybe they won't ever see each other again, and that this very moment when they get teleported home, while they're excited for it, it could also be the end of just them in general. Which, when you think about it, is very sad. And of course, Green Arrow is the one that goes missing. As we all know, the Green Arrow comic that's coming out next year kind of spoiled that for us because the synopsis said that Green Arrow is missing after Dark Crisis. And I'm guessing that this is how. As when they come back, later on in the issue, Green Arrow is nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, the fight between the heroes and the darkness at the Hall of Justice continues. Isn't also going that well as Darkseid rips Frankenstein in two. Well, Nightwing attempts to talk down Rose and Roundhouse, as like the villains, they too are being controlled by the darkness. The cavalry shows up, that being Tim Fox, Nubia, Blue Beetle, Ms. Martian, Connor Hawke, Steel, and Ray, coming to help in the fight. However, Ted Kord, Firestorm, Steel, Booster Gold, and Connor Hawke try to get the drop on Pariah, who replies by killing them, and rebirthing them into their own Earths. So I guess they're not actually dead, but the panel of him actually, killing them is pretty brutal, and as a fan of a lot of these characters, I felt hurt. I felt really hurt watching them actually die. Luckily, they're not dead. The heroes, or a small group of them, try a plan. Tim helps Black Adam and Mr. Turek work on a machine that they need to use to stop the darkness. Yarflor explains that she believes that her lasso might be able to be a possible way to defeat Pariah, perhaps being able to kind of close out the voices in his head. But they need time to prepare, which is where John comes in. John fights Darkseid, Doomsday, Neron, Necron, and Calypso all at once, as Pariah kills Captain Atom and one of the Swamp Things, which is when Yar gets a drop on Pariah using her lasso on him, only for him to reply by throwing her to the ground. John is also being absolutely destroyed by Darkseid, Doomsday, and all of them. And that's when he sees flashbacks to his dad asking him what the S means to him. Pariah then attempts to kill Jarl, only for it to be time for the machine to work. Therefore, he's trapped in this weird cube only for him to die. I feel like that's kind of a weak way for him to die, to be honest, because that seemed pretty easy. But of course, that's my own opinion. John's prepared to die himself, fighting Doomsday, but Superman flies in to save his son, who's obviously excited to see that his dad's alive. Then comes bursting out the entire League, all in their original uniforms, which I'm kind of sad about because I really like the John Stewart and Wonder Woman ones. However, we also see that Oliver didn't make it across, which I said already was going to happen. We see the fights that include Nubia, Wonder Woman, and Yarflor teaming up, which I really like. John Stewart leading the Lanterns against the Yellow Lanterns, which I also really like. But also, seeing Black Canary and Roy Harper knows that Oliver is missing, which is kind of heartbreaking. But the things get weird. Pariah is dead, but yet the darkness isn't, just for it to be revealed that it actually moved to a new host, and that is Deathstroke. The end. What a cliffhanger. I really like this issue. It's a lot of action, but it's sprinkled in some emotional moments, like Black Canary noticing Oliver is missing, John being saved by his dad, and Beast Boy stepping up to Deathstroke. Personally, I did mention that I was getting tired of Deathstroke a few issues back. but he's definitely growing on me again. I've always loved the character, but I thought for the past couple issues and even a couple years, he's been eclipsing other villains, which makes me kind of sad because I really like a lot of villains, but it's always Deathstroke, Deathstroke, Deathstroke. And while I love Deathstroke, like I said, this time I think other villains got a moment to shine. So in my opinion, I was okay with Deathstroke becoming the new leader of the Darkness. For example, I thought Doomsday in particular was really well done here. I loved his fight with John. But I will say this, I think Pariah was really stupid. I don't mean stupid as in I don't like him, because I did like him, but stupid as in he himself was really dumb. I thought it was kind of weird for him, despite being all powerful, he fell for Yara Flor's antics and got killed by Mr. Terrific practically. They practically killed him just by themselves. Yara Flor and Mr. Terrific. Both characters I absolutely love, but for a character who's being set up to be able to take on the entire the Lantern Corps, and the entire League, he's taken out by Yara Flor and Mr. Terrific, like, very easily, too. Like, it wasn't even, like, really a struggle. They just immediately took him out. So, in my opinion, that was a little weird to me. I understand they want Deathstroke to be the leader of the Darkness, and I do think a lot of people will prefer Deathstroke over Pariah, which I personally think, that makes sense to me. But it's still, like, why was he so easy to kill? I feel like there should have been more of a struggle there. I don't have any problem with Yara and Mr. Terrific being the ones who kill him, because, like I said, I love both those characters, and I'm happy that they're the ones who actually did it, but I would have liked it to maybe make more sense. To have, like, maybe them, like, deliver the final blow, but, like, have him be, like, worn out from the fight with all the heroes. Because I don't get how he could take on Superman, but couldn't take on Mr. Terrific and Yara Flor. I know they had that whole machine, but still, I didn't really understand that whole thing. I thought it was a little plot convenience, in my opinion. But either way, I still love this issue. And I thought the entire issue itself had a lot of action, and I'm happy Yara Flor got to do more, because I've been kind of sad that her character has been kind of, like, fading in and out of the series. So I'm glad she got to do more, but like I said, I was a little sad and disappointed that Pariah was so easily killed. And that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye.